Fighting to keep children out of factories and in school. Child labor was another issue that progressives worked to address, since many children worked in factories and sweatshops to help their families. Were unable to attend school in 1890, only 4% of the American teenagers were going to school at this time. In response to this, progressives advocated for laws to restrict or ban child labor. Children should not only be educated but also Americanized. This is said by the progressives. They supported pressuring immigrant school children to ignore their cultural traditions and become assimilated into American society. They also protested the criminal justice system's treatment of children. The criminal justice system's treatment of children was then protested, although the law required juvenile offenders to be sentenced to reform school. In many places, accused children often did not get to have a trial, even if the children were not convicted. They began work at 5:30 and quit at 7 at night. Children 6 years old going home to lie on a straw pallet until time to resume work the next morning. I have seen the hair torn out of their heads by the machinery, their scalps torn off, and yet not a single tear was shed, while the poodle dogs were loved and caressed and married to the seashore, said by Mother Jones. The decline in child labor meant that more children could receive an education, thus creating a demand for more schools. In 1870, there were only 500 high schools throughout the nation, but by the year 1910, that number had grown to 10,000 schools. In 1930, almost half of all high school-aged youth were attending schools. By the early 1900s, child labor was almost non-existent.